Okay, YouTube family, we all want to know about the attorneys that Straight Drop and Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, of course, and Cornelius Smith and Shondell Barnett. What attorney are those three young men going to use? So I've accumulated some research and looked at some of the best attorneys in Memphis, high paid attorneys in Memphis, who practice damn near to everything from alimony, divorce, defense attorneys, everything you could get. And I got one of them here, the best criminal defense attorney, like one of them named Mark A. Renkin, attorney at law. He's one of the best, and we're gonna break this down because some people were saying they look nervous. Cornelius didn't look like he had one. Straight Drop didn't, but they told you they did. And I wanted to break it down to you guys and what's really going on with this court case. I need y'all to hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and let's rock out and look at this in the thorough way possible. Now, a lot of people been asking, what are these men on the screen are going to be able to do now that there's a couple of situations? We know the death of young Dolph made a lot of fans be enraged. Like 50,000 fans screaming in rage. Shout out to Usher. But I mean, it's a situation that's beginning to be common. It's beginning to be common to see people trick out of themselves out of a prominent position. Now you're probably like, what is Blessed One talking about? A lot of people are breaking down to their own determination that these folks are gonna snitch. These guys don't have any attorneys. We know the white bins footage was shown that MPD claimed they have, showing that Cornelius Smith was still in this, and we know it's going to lead a domino effect of snitching. But if they got high paid attorneys who can get them out of this situation, then they have a chance to win. Before I even show the other attorneys, let's listen to one of these attorneys break down how they could win. Now, this guy is Jamal Kersley. He represents a lot of folks, mostly in California and the Memphis area. He's going to break down how these guys could be found innocent and basically get their case dismissed.
How does a criminal defense attorney get charges dismissed? If this is a question that you have, then you're in luck because I'm going to answer that for you right now. My name is Jamal Kersey. I'm a criminal defense and immigration attorney in San Diego, and I've handled everything from your question on how a defense attorney gets charges dismissed. So basically what it comes down to is demonstrating to the prosecutor that they are not going to be able to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. So prosecutors will file charges against a person going into it believing that they'll be able to prove their case beyond a robbery, a burglary, and grand theft, right? So the prosecutors reviewed.
The reason why I paused it here is that y'all pay attention. Grand theft, robbery, and in the death and killings. All this is in the same situation with the three gentlemen's case. And it's going to be more people, but I'm giving you guys a mindset to see the possibility. Will they get real lawyers or can they get off?
That information, those are the charges they decide to file against the client. And so ultimately the defense attorney, in working with his or her client, reviews that information, reviews the discovery with their client. This might be witness statements, photographs, video, lab reports. If there was any violence, there might be hospital records or medical records, anything like that. But the defense attorney is forming the defense strategy with his client and trying to come up with a way to demonstrate to the prosecutor that they are not going to be able to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. So there are some misconceptions in terms of how defense attorneys get charges dismissed. It's not because the prosecutor likes the defense attorney. It's not because the defense attorney knows the judge. It's not any of these things. Ultimately, it comes down to the defense attorney being able to successfully communicate to the prosecutor that they are not going to be able to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And so sometimes that comes in the way of being able to demonstrate that certain evidence that the prosecutor thinks he's going to be able to get in will not come in. So you've probably heard of motions to suppress evidence. Well, if there was evidence that was unlawfully obtained, in violation of the accused's Fourth Amendment rights, then
kind of like if they had straight drop video evidence based on illegal procedures they made to get those evidence, he can do motion to dismiss the case basically and move it. And the same thing with Cornelius Smith, because they say they got proof, physical evidence of him stealing the vehicles November 10th, 7 days prior to November 17th, the day that young Dolph got killed at McAdee's cookie shop in Memphis. Now this guy's breaking it down perfect.
What can be filed is a motion to suppress, and if the defense is successful in that motion and the main evidence gets thrown out and the prosecutor no longer has a case, then that's going to result in a dismissal. And so sometimes that process is circumvented by the defense attorney being able to say, hey, you're not even going to be able to get this information into evidence if this case were to go to trial. And if the prosecutor is convinced or agrees with that, then that can result in a dismissal. Or there could be identification issues. The accused ended up getting charged with this particular crime, but there could be shaky identification issues, or there could be witness credibility issues. Maybe the witness had a motive to lie and made something up. But there's all kinds of different things that the defense attorney can come up with in order to demonstrate that the prosecutor is not going to be able to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And so that's what it takes. At the end of the day, it's the defense attorney's investigation of the facts, so that's using either himself or even hiring an investigator to assist in digging up facts that are going to support the defense's theory of the case. Also doing the legal research to see if there are any solid legal arguments that the defense has in order to, again, show that at the end of the day.
Now, doing my job and collecting data, I found a Memphis attorney that's doing a lot of political things that he's a high prominent attorney. But before I go to him, let's go to more Memphis, Tennessee lawyers who are going to speak about situations, and maybe possibly these are the attorneys that straight drop and aka Justin Johnson and Mr. Shondell Barnett and Mr. Cornelius Smith will use.
Performing Arts Center. Germantown is truly a great city. If you've been injured, and protect your rights and get you the money that you deserve. Hi, I'm attorney Mike Montesi. If you or a loved one have been injured in some way, it's understandable that you have important questions and has experience. And 4, you want a lawyer who can get you the most money for your case. Of people like you in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. And the good news, we are a performance-based firm, meaning we don't get paid unless we win you money. We are in this together.
So much of it is argument, trying.
As for a criminal lawyer, finding the best attorney is extremely important. With a few simple steps, you can find the right professional quickly. Today's local leading expert in criminal law will walk you through the simple steps you need to take to find the perfect attorney to serve your needs.
Well, it's a difficult job finding a good criminal defense attorney because there's more and more lawyers out there every year. And not all of them have any experience in the day-to-day business. And that's really what you want, is someone who's in a criminal courtroom every single day. There's an old saying, the good lawyer knows the law, the great lawyer knows the judge. And you need to know not just what the law says, because that's pretty easy to look up, but the different preferences, the personalities, the quirks of each judge, of the prosecutors, the people the lawyer will be dealing with. They need to know those individuals and have a feel for them and how they think and what they're willing to do. So much of it is negotiation, so much of it is argument, trying to advance the client's interests. And if you don't know who you're dealing with, that's a much more difficult job. It's also tricky because there's avenues of information that aren't so good. The Yellow Pages used to be a source, but that really doesn't tell you anything other than who bought the biggest ad or has the best looking one. If your bonding company is sending you somewhere, you know that's kind of shady. What you need to do is talk to someone and get a feel for that person. Do they seem like they know what they're talking about? Do they have confidence? Do they have experience? That's probably the most important in dealing with your kind of case. If it's you or someone you know with an aggravated robbery, rape of a child, first-degree murder, kidnapping, these difficult cases, you need someone who knows what they're doing. If it's someone with some kind of embezzlement or identity theft case, those all have their very different aspects to it, that you need someone with experience in those matters. Do they take cases to jury trial, or do they just handle driving on suspendeds? Please give me a call. My name is Mark Rankin, and my office number is 901-521-4302. I'll be happy to talk to you, learn more about your situation or your family's situation, because if you're looking for a criminal defense attorney, you are in a difficult position. It's the state of Tennessee or the United States government against you or your family member. And that system is not entirely fair, so that's why you get one lawyer to help you out against the state or the government and their vast resources. Call me. My name is Mark Rankin, 901-521-4302. I'd be happy to talk to you and tell you how I can help.
I hope some of that shows y'all the mindset and how they get attorneys involved in this situation and they try to make it help. Now, there's a lawyer in the Memphis area. This Memphis attorney, he's a prominent lawyer, but he wants to do a new form of things, and I think this is going to help straight drop in Cornelius Smith. Not a lot, maybe like 10%, but every percent help. And it's like, damn, what this man is talking about can literally change the waves for them boys to use. Now, I'm going to make y'all listen to what he's talking about. Now, this attorney is one who does a lot of pro bono work, so he might touch on this topic just for the mainstream and the relevancy that it gives you. Come on, it's young Dolph, so that's what also scares fans a little bit. I hope this answered all your guys' questions, and I hope this made sense and it broke down whether these guys will get attorneys or not, whether they will have attorneys to be used, can they win their case, what's the probability, or they just BSing about getting their own attorneys because they didn't use no public defenders. So who is funding the attorneys they're gonna get? I mean, I heard Cornelius Smith say his father. I heard Justin Johnson said his family. Now, who is giving the families these numerous amounts of income to pay for their attorneys? I don't know. Maybe they family got that bag already. But look, I'm gonna leave y'all where y'all at, and we're gonna try to make sense of this thing and bring more news, more videos. Again, I'm DJ Bless. Thank you for watching another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Salute, gang.